Well, New Mexico is now one of a handful of states in the whole country that allows doctors to help terminally ill patients die. Yesterday, Albuquerque District Court Judge Nan Nash ruled in favor of a lawsuit from two doctors and a cancer patient. It challenges the state law on assisted suicide. Opponents argue that doctors prescribing medicine to patients to end their lives was the same as helping them commit suicide. But advocates and the judge agreed mentally competent, terminally ill patients who are suffering should be able to die on their own terms peacefully with the help of their families and a doctor. Judge Nash ruled that it is a fundamental right under New Mexico's Constitution.
I have a good life and I want to keep living. But if the cancer is going to kill me, I want the peace of mind of knowing that I have some choice at the very end.
With the new ruling, doctors can no longer be prosecuted under the state's assisted suicide law. Well, as soon as this week, we could know if a horse slaughterhouse in Roswell can start processing meat. Yesterday, Judge Matthew Wilson heard from Attorney General Gary King and his people about why he wants an injunction against the Valley Meat Company. The company insists that the federal government, not the state, has the authority over the plant, and the feds have given the okay. But one of Attorney General King's assistants argues the plant's operation could contaminate groundwater and violate state food safety laws.
What we're asking the court to do, the relief that the state is seeking, is an injunction against Valley Meat. And this is based on the concerns that we have about all the drugs that horses get. They're not raised to be food animals in America like the way cows are.
We heard testimony today again that meat is a federal issue. This is a federally inspected facility. There isn't this threat of this run-amok situation where this product is going to be making it to the public without undergoing proper regulatory scrutiny.
Even if the judge okays the plant, it still has other hurdles to clear before it can open. The judge is expected to make a ruling Friday. A video from here in Albuquerque of homeless people dancing to a hit song called Happy is making some folks very unhappy. Take a look. A guy named Leo York made the video and posted it to his Facebook page, Inhabitants of Burke, last week. Since then, it's gotten more than 14,000 views, along with some quite nasty comments. Critics call the video tasteless, and they say that he's exploiting the homeless. Well, York says he hopes it would change people's perspective of the homeless.
These homeless nuisances, but they're people that with one kind act, you can change their attitude, and every one of them smiled. And I was dancing with them even when I was filming in it.
Some have called Mr. York's video a get-rich-quick scheme. He says he's not making any money on the project. York says he plans to continue his work with the homeless despite the criticism. Well, 534, an online service catering to older, wealthy men and younger women in college claims that the University of New Mexico has a lot of students signing up to find so-called sugar daddies.
Do college bills have you in more debt than you can handle?
An online ad here claims to have an alternative for paying those tuition bills through older wealthy men, we call them sugar daddies, who are willing to pay for relationships. The website says it's seen a big boost here with 148 UNM students registering for it last year, bringing the total to almost 250. The company says that women are paid an average of $3,000 a month. The website's director of public relations insists this is not an escort service or prostitution.
A lot of these relationships resemble a normal boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Some of them do have sex, but it's not a requirement.
The girls register online by using a college email address. However, UNM says there's really no way to actually verify if they really are UNM students. The university says this doesn't have the option because it's one of the most, doesn't have to be the only option because it's one of the most affordable universities in the nation with $230 million of financial aid available to students each and every year. All right, feeling a little under the weather this morning, fever, chills, body aches, you're not alone. The flu is on the move in New Mexico, already killing one woman here, but you still have time to go ahead and be safe. We talked with some doctors over at Loveless to get some tips. The doctor says they really don't know if the strain that killed that woman from Santa Fe County was the regular flu or the swine flu, but the symptoms and the treatment are the same. Both influenza and swine flu develop quickly. Look out for coughing, congestion, fever, body aches, and overwhelming fatigue. One major difference is that swine flu can strike the healthy, and while influenza is seasonal, you can get the swine flu at any time of the year. Swine flu was first identified back in 2008. Doctors say the best way to prevent yourself from getting either of these types of flus is a flu shot.
The current flu shot does include the strains of influenza A, influenza B, and also H1N1. So the regular flu shot protects you from both kinds.
Doctors say it is not too late to go ahead and get the flu shot. It takes 2 weeks to make sure it gets up to full strength in your body. By the way, if you think you have the flu, doctors say stay at home. Wait 24 hours after your fever has subsided. That way you're not contagious anymore. By the way, the Red Cross just added a flu guide to its first aid app. You can download that for free on Apple and Android phones. I did that a couple months ago. It's pretty handy. Well, believe it or not, New Mexico is actually facing a shortage of doctors. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has designated every county except Harding as having a shortage. This all comes as thousands are expected to enroll in Obamacare, creating an even greater need for primary care doctors. The government says we are short more than 200 doctors. State legislators and the governor are hoping to fill the gap with a $5 million incentive package. We'll talk about this during a legislative session that starts 1 week from today. And parents, listen to this. Baby wipes could be causing your kids to break out in a bad rash. A study in the journal Pediatrics this week says that a doctor has seen several children with the same type of rashes. They clear up after parents stop using the wipes that are treated with a chemical known as M1. You find it in a lot of these baby wipe products. Doctors say it's best if parents don't use the wipes unless they are traveling and you have to.